Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these diamond fold Christmas cards. You can use them for any greeting card that you want to make, but I'm just using them for Christmas because I've got tons of them to make coming up for the festive period. Now this is the one that I'm going to be showing you today, how I'm putting it together. Such a fun card, and it folds quite flat, so if you're shipping internationally it should go in as a large letter if you just sending it on its own. I don't think it'll quite get through on a standard one just because it's got the thicknesses of the card and foam pads in it. And then this is the one that I did as a practice before I did the video. So they're really small, they're 4 by 4 inches, so they're quite a small card, but when they stand up, they stand this way. So I'll just show you, that's how they stand up, but then that's what you'll see from the front once it's opened up. And then on the back you've got space for you to be able to write whatever you wish, and that's that. So I just wanted to explain why I've not done any videos for a couple of weeks. I've been moving my craft stash into my studio, and I'm pretty much sorted now, but I just needed a couple of weeks off so I could get that done. Once it is all done and finished, then I will do a studio tour. If that's something that you're interested in, if you put it in the comments, then I'll know whether if it's something that people want to see. So it's quick and easy to do, so let's get started and I'll show you how. Right, so to make this card we're going to need a card base which is 12 inches by 4 inches. And then if you put it to the orientation of the long side on your scoring board, if you've got one, first of all you just want to mark at 6 inch. Now you'll notice here on my scoreboard that I've got a black line all the way down the middle. Now this is for when I'm wanting to do diagonal scoring and things like that, which is what we'll be doing today. So you don't have to put that on, this is just how I do it. It's just a tip that I've picked up over the years when I've been crafting. So first of all we've got to take it along our 12 inch side, and we want to score at 2 inches with the right side. So 2 inches and then 4 inches, and then went a bit wonky there I think. There we go, never mind. Now if you do that, just flip your paper over or your card, whatever it is that you've got, and just rub gently on the line that you don't want, and it will push it back into place and nobody will be any the wiser. Right, flip it back over. So we've done 2 inch, 4 inch and 8 inch and 10 inches. Okay, so then what we want to do is, this is when we're doing our diagonal. So at the 6 inch mark, let's make it a little bit darker. You can rub these out afterwards, so you're best off doing it with pencil. So what we're going to do is, I've got myself a template, and I keep this so it reminds me of what I'm wanting to do. So if we've got it this way, we're going to be scoring from this corner to the mark here, from there to there, and then the same on the opposite side. So this is when I use the line. So I take the top mark up from this point here, and then I just slide the cardstock round until this marking is here on the 6 inch line. So I know when I score from there to there I'm going to be getting a nice straight line. So let's do it that way. Okay, and then the same on the opposite one. So we're just going to get that point there, make sure you hold it down, and then I've got my pencil marking here, and then just make sure you've got a good hold of it, and then score down there again, and then you want to do it on the opposite side. So you've got a better of an idea now because you can see your diagonal line there. So I'm taking it from this top point here all the way down, and then we're doing the same from the opposite side. So essentially we're creating a square, so a diamond, once it's round the way that it needs to go. Okay, and then that's all the scoring that we need to do. Now the mats and nails, I'll tell you the sizings for those now before we go any further. You're going to need 2 squares that are what have we sorry, so 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch. That's both of them. Yeah. So you need 2 pattern pieces that 3.5 inch squared. Then you're going to need 1 piece which is for your centre triangle that I showed you, and this is 2.5 by 2, so that's a 2.5 inch square. And then you want 2 that are 1 3/4 by, ooh, go this side, 3 3/4. Yeah, that's it. So 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you need 2 of those ones, and those are just for our mats and layers. And then for the back of it, for us to do any stamping on or messages that you want to do, you're going to need a white piece of card, and that one is 2.5 inches squared, and this is what I'll put my sentiment on. And then you're going to need 2 of these, which is 1 3/4. Oh, can't be right, that one. Oh yeah, that's fine. Ignore me, I would have been a moment then. So these need to be 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So the same size as what these ones are, but these are what you're going to be putting your messages on. Okay, so closer. So now with all your score lines that we've just made, so you just want to fold each and every line. So I like to start with the vertical ones, and then just give each one a really good burnish. Just make sure you've got them lined up. This will give you a more professional finish on your work. And then we're bending the fibres away from the score line that we've just made. Okay, so I'll just show you up close here. So we've made this little divot here. So when we're folding it away from that, because if you think of the fibres, we've pushed them down that are in the card, and then when we stretch it the other way, it's pulling them round the other side. So this should reduce the chance of cracking. Now some card still gets some cracking marks. But that's when you've sort of just got to go a little bit steady on scoring area, because you can get some, I think on this one when I did this, as you can see I've got quite a few scuff marks on it, so I've learned that this card's got a little bit, you don't need to press as hard on it for it to work. So now I'm going on to my diagonal ones. There we go, got all that done. Now, so we're wanting it this way around, so this is why I keep this template, because it's a good handy reference guide for when you're popping them together. So if you've made a pencil mark, or if you just made a divot, that's alright, I'm just rubbing the pencil lines off. So this is where we're going to have our image. Now these two want to go inwards, so if you just do that, it naturally wants to go into that position. And flip it around and then do it the other way. Just give it a, and then these 2 end pieces are going to have to fold this way, so fold those back themselves. There we go, and then once you've pushed those in, now when it's closed up, it's just this nice size, and then it will fit. It will be a 4 inch by 4 inch square, or just a little bit over, depending on if you've not trimmed enough up like me, but never mind. So that's the basic card that we need to make. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to decorate the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pattern pieces of paper. So I'm going to take my small one first, and I'm just going to mat this onto here. So I'll just take my glue. So this is Clal 3D glue gel. And, ooh, try not to throw your card around. I think I might have had this dry up. Ooh. Throwing everything today. and then you just want to hover it over and just place it so that it's got a little border all the way around. And try to make it as even as you can, and with you using a wet glue it gives you that wiggle room, so you've just got that border going around now. So, and then we're going to take our 2 rectangles, and I'm going to stick these on these end pieces. Right, so that's the straightforward matting and layering that we need to do. Now we're going to take these 2 pieces here and we're going to trim them down. We're going to turn them into triangles. So as you can see here, we've got a large triangle and 4 smaller triangles on each side. So we need 2 of these ones and 8 of these ones. Is that right? Yeah, 2, 4. Yes, 8. I'm not very good at maths. Right. So one of the squares you need to first of all cut in half. So if you just line up with your trimmer, or you could use a ruler and a craft knife, but then just hold it, if you've got one like mine, just hold down on the plastic part, because we're not butting it up to this part here. You've not got that stability, so you need to really press down quite firmly. Okay, and then cut it in half. Now this one we can save for another one because we only need 1/2 of it. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to trim this one down into 2, which will create the 2 for the other. Right, if you've got a line on your guillotine, paper cut, whatever it is that you've got, just make sure you've got it lined up completely straight, and then you're going from the point of the triangle down to here and straight down. So you've got your 2 pieces there, and then the other one we need to cut into 8. So we're going to take these a little bit further, again chop this in half, and then in half again. Going to cut them in half again. So 1/2 will make for either side of the main centerpiece. Okay, so I get these smaller ones. Just take your time, make sure that you've got it straight. If you have got lines on your paper trimmer like there is on mine, then that does make it a little bit easier. Or if you're just using a cutting mat with a ruler and a scalpel or cutting knife, whatever it is that you've got. Get it in. Straight down. So just do that with this other one. Okay, so we've got all our triangles, so we just need to take our large ones and the smaller ones off to the side and just bring back our card blank. So now I'm going to speed this bit up, but so you'll still be able to see me do it, but I'm not going to be talking, so I'll put some music on or something, because this is just a boring bit watching me decorate it, but I want you to see the process of how I do it. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've got all the front pieces stuck on, so now you want to flip it over, and we're just going to stick on our back pieces so we know they're all on and secure. So I'm going to take this centrepiece again. This one I've got a sentiment on it, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. This was just a die cut topper that I've got a box full of hundreds of different toppers that I've been saving over the years, and I thought I might as well try and get these used up when my cards this year. So you just want to make sure that you've got that border all the way around, like we did the front piece. Can't remember if I said, but I'm using Kalal 3D glue, not 3D glue gel, Kalal construction glue. It just makes everything nice and solid once it's dried. And plus, if you get any that comes out, you can just rub away at it and it turns into like a little rubber ball, and then you can take it away. So it's a lot better than PVA, and plus it doesn't warp your card because it's solvent based, not water based. So right, and take our other white pieces. You could stamp on these if you wished. I'm not sticks, because it's quite a small area for writing in. I don't want to take up too much of the space with other sentiments. So put this on here. Now you could do more triangles and decorate this back piece if you wished, but I'm just leaving them plain because it is the back bit, it's not the bit that's going to be seen once it's stood up. Now a little trick that, not on this one but on my other one that I made, where the score lines were, it sort of cracked a little bit, and all I did was find the nearest colour ink pad that I've got, and then I folded it. I'm not doing it on this one, but I'll show you, I can do it on here. Okay, so I just took my ink pad and I just folded it in half and exposed the fibres that had tore, and I just rubbed the ink pad along. It sort of blends in and it gives it sort of a distressed look, and it just saves your wasting your card. For if it does happen to you and you think, oh no, I've wasted my card, you haven't. There's always some way around to cover up those happy accidents. Right, so I'm going to turn it back over. So now let's just pop the pin in here for a moment because I don't want it to dry up and get all cloggy. Now I'm going with the Snowman and the Snow Dog. This was off for a CD-ROM that I've got. I think it was Crafter's Inspiration. I think it was issue 3 or something like that. CD-ROM. I've just printed off what I want to put on. And I'm just going to take some foam pads. Stick them on. I'm just going to pop him in the centre. You can do this in any colour, and you can do it for any type of card. You don't have to just keep it for Christmas cards. I just like the shape of it. And then I've got another sentiment thing here that I'm going to stick in the corner like I have done with this one once I've got all my other bits and pieces put in. But I've got some snowmen and a Santa that I stamped out before that I'm going to use as my decoration for this side. Now my sleigh's a little bit too big for that, so I'll have to use that on something else. So I think we'll have Santa on this one, And we'll have just one snowman here. Like this, I think. Yeah, that's how we'll have him. So we'll get our foam threads again. You could put bows on here, you could put the little candy dots, you know, the little paper circle things that you can get. You can put sticky gems. You can put the little candy canes I've showed you how to make in one of my previous videos. I'll put the link in the description. And what else could you put on? Put some little flowers, or some of the little holly leaves that I've shown you how to make in another video. There's lots of different things that you could trim up your card with. So those are the three main pieces. In fact, no, I've got our little sentiment to go here. So I'm going to tuck that in at this corner, and then once it folds flat, it'll be tucked in with the other ones. So just put a little bit, if you're using something like this, just put a little bit of glue in one corner, because that's the only area that it's going to stick. If you put it on any of these, then you don't need to worry about it, but as long as you have it just on that corner, that's where that bit's going to go. Once it's dry, just make sure, while it's still wet, should I say, not while it's dry, just make sure that when it folds flat, it's going to go within that shape for it to go into your envelope. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sticky gems on. What colour shall we go for this one? I think we'll go with the silver ones. So I'll speed this bit up again so you can see where I put them. I'll just zoom in a little bit now so you can see where I am putting them. So I'll get on with this and I'll see you in a moment. We've got all of our decoration put on, so I've just put some little stars on, as you'll have seen me doing. Just remembered I got them to the side for me, so I'm just going to push our diamond back in. So you're pushing these two into itself here, and then they fold back on itself, and you've got a lovely card. So when it stands up like that, so from the front you'll see it like this, but it will stand up this way, and then you've got your plain pieces on the back for you to write your sentiment in, and that will fit into one of your 12x4 envelopes. Now the other one that I've made, again I used one of the toppers from the CD-ROM that I've put on here, but I just stamped some Christmas trees from one of my stamps. I can't remember which one it is, and I've just coloured it in, and then I've just put some you know, sticky gems on so it looks like it's got baubles on. So they're really fun cards and easy to make. The thing that probably takes the longest is cutting out the papers and sticking those on, and then depending on how you want to decorate them. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I've inspired you to have a go at making these yourself. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. And if you've enjoyed it, if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, that would be appreciated too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.